Now there are many training methods. I myself have run a sub 3 hour marathon using the MAF training method. Now MAF has increased in popularity in the last few years with many people jumping on board the bandwagon. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the differences between MAF training and Zone 2 training, just to show you the disparity between the heart rate ranges and the zones that you're training in. Now, MAF training is 180 minus your age. For me, I'm 39, so that's 141. Now, there are some flexibilities with MAF training. If you're fit and you've been running for quite some time, the allocated time is up to 2 years without injury or illness, you can add 5. So then my MAF heart rate would be 146. Now, MAF training is known for easy running, but when it's compared to Zone 2 running, are you really running easy? Now, Zone 2. Zone 2 is projected from 220 minus your age. That would be 181. Now, Zone 2 is between 60 and 70% of your maximum heart rate. Now, that's a wide range. Now, how we get to that, 181 times 0.6. So that's going to be 109. And then 181 times 0.7, 127 beats per minute. As you can see, my MAF heart rate is 141. My top end Zone 2 is 127. That's 14 beats per minute difference. So when we discuss MAF training, in comparison with Zone 2 training, are you really running easy in MAF? Or are you at your maximum? Should we be slowing down our easy runs? Now MAF, that target heart rate is focused around burning fat for fuel, whereas Zone 2 is trying to have the same effect at a lower intensity, but it's still trying to build your aerobic capacity. It just gives you a little bit more broader range to work from at a very lower intensity. Now, for those of you runners, you will know that 14 beats per minute is quite a lot. What that means is you can use Zone 2 for a lot longer than you can MAF, because of the lower heart rate, and go for longer and therefore build a better aerobic base. Now with MAF, that would be classed as Zone 3 if you were using the traditional zone training method. Now MAF training, it can come across as rigid because you don't really have much movement at all. But what it does is it keeps you in the fat burning zone. Whereas Zone 2 is not as efficient in fat burning, but it is more effective to build endurance in regards to running. Now I'm not standing here trying to prescribe that you do one certain type of training versus the other. At the end of the day, it's about what works for you, what your body adapts to, and what you get the benefits from. The reason I started MAF training all them years ago, because when you start doing Zone 2 training, you're very limited in the heart rate range that you can go to. That means then that when you go and do speed training, which you will have to do when you train in Zone 2, that for me, my body was susceptible to injuries. With MAF, when I adopted a MAF training, because I was running at an elevated heart rate, I then didn't have to worry about putting in speed sessions, because over time, my MAF pace slowly went from a nearly 12-minute mile right down to 7 minutes at that very same heart rate. So for me, MAF training was having an effect on many training methods, or zones if you were to call it that. Now I'm not standing here and telling you that one training method is better than the other. Ultimately, consistency is going to be king when you're training. So whether you choose MAF, whether you choose Zone 2, whether you want to do Pete's Finger, where you want to do Jack Daniels, it doesn't make a difference. If you're consistent in whatever plan you choose or whatever method you choose, then you will see quick progress in your running. Ultimately, MAF works for me. It has for the last 5 years, and I've managed to run a sub 3 hour marathon. I've managed to win ultra marathons and for the most part stay injury free. Well, apart from non-running injuries. So to summarize the video, there is no best training method. MAF versus Zone 2, they have two different goals. MAF is a higher intensity, but if you stick at MAF, you're going to be fat burning and you're also going to be building that endurance. Zone 2 is very targeted. A lot of triathletes use Zone 2 because of you can lower the heart rate on the bike, but then they sprinkle in the anaerobic sessions, the speed sessions. For me, I don't want to be doing that. I want that sustained long period of effort, and that MAF heart rate does that for me. So whether you choose MAF or Zone 2 to be your preferred method, remember, it's all about having fun, getting outdoors, be sure to listen to your body. Guys, if you train MAF or Zone 2, please drop in the comments which one do you prefer and why. I'll see you in the next one.